Hello, my friends. Today I want to talk about my loss at the U.S. Regional Championship in Denver, Colorado in February of 2024, 2 years ago. This was a devastating loss. It was at a tournament that I had been working towards for months, and in many ways it was a culmination of my entire journey with the shankpig, the creation of the shankpig brand. And this journey I had started in October of 2023, where I quit my day job to be a full-time content creator and competitive Magic player. My loss at RC Denver in many ways illustrates something that I like to call the shankpig mentality. So at RC Denver, I went 1-3-1, day one. Not even good enough to qualify for day two. And after that fifth round where I took my third loss, I was no longer in the running for day two. So I dropped out, conserved my energy, and prepared for a side event the next day. But this loss, this burnout, this fizzling away of this tournament was incredibly disappointing for me because I had been practicing for it for months. I was not into the modern scene prior to playing in this tournament. I was primarily a limited player who would dabble in standard or modern every now and then, but not in a serious way, especially not modern. One of the main reasons for that is I simply did not have the cards to play modern. So I was playing Teamer Rhinos, which, if you remember at the time, was super successful, super popular deck back in February of 2024. And I had some cards to trade with, and I had a little bit of store credit that I'd won from smaller tournaments. But at the end of the day, I still shelled out about $700 from my own pocket to pay for this deck. And I was also practicing on Magic Online. So I also had to buy the deck on Magic Online, which is about another $400. So that's about $1,100 all told. And that was a big chunk of money for me because at the time I was living purely off of savings. I was making a little bit of money from my content, but we're talking in the hundreds, low hundreds each month. And I needed to pay rent. So every dollar that I go towards spending on Magic cards is one less dollar towards rent, which is one less day or one less month of me being able to be a full-time content creator. Now I also had to pay for the travel to Denver, the flight, the hotel, the food while I was there eating out. So this adds up. And then of course there's the time element. There is the time practicing for the tournament. There's the time traveling to the tournament. And in a lot of ways for me, it's sacrificing social time because a couple of my friends play Magic, but none of my friends play competitive Magic anymore. And I had met a couple of people through playing Magic, but these hadn't yet developed into full friendships. So in a lot of ways, this was a completely solo journey for me, aside from you guys cheering me on in the comments of some of my YouTube videos, which is why I value this platform so much. So why was the loss so disappointing at RC Denver? It's just another Magic tournament. Well, there's the time, money, and energy effort I just talked about, but there was also, I'm going to be honest, a little bit of a dream in my head of, oh, maybe I'll make top 20, and even if I don't qualify for the Pro Tour, I'll get a little prize money, which I can, then roll into my cash savings. Let me do this whole content thing better. Or, oh, if I get, top 16, it's going to give a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of credibility to this whole shankpig Road to the Pro Tour video series, and going to build some steam on my channel, going to build that engine, going to get me more affiliate partnerships, brand deals, and it's going to get the engine going. And then, of course, there was the ultimate dream of being top 8, being top 4, whatever the cutoff is, and actually qualifying for the Magic Pro Tour, and then going and playing in the Pro Tour, which of course would have opened up doors to different forms of content creation, a little bit of prize money, and the dream of grinding the Pro Tour, playing on chaining Pro Tour qualifications one after the other. And so when I went 1-3-1, that dream popped like a bubble. And I was sitting there in my hotel room thinking, okay, what now? I just burned through a big chunk of my savings. Didn't get away with any prize money. Didn't qualify for the Pro Tour. Didn't make it to day 2. Didn't even have a winning record, 1-3-1, and let's be honest, I got my ass handed to me in probably 3 to 4 of those 5 matches, where I had all 3 of my losses. I went 0-2. I didn't even pick up a single game. Was getting schooled on. I played another Team of Rhinos player, and he was even telling me, hey man, like, respectfully, like, here's a little tweak you can make to your game that would actually improve it a lot better. And so what do you do in a situation like that? Well, for me, it comes back to perseverance and mental toughness and never giving up. That loss is going to be a loss out there, out in the world. Everyone who sees it can see it's a loss. They can point a finger and say, hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, this guy doesn't know anything about Modern. Hey, this guy isn't that good at Magic. And that's fine. That is fine, because the people saying that, they have bills to pay. They have a dog they got to go walk. They've got a kid they got to take to school. They have relationship problems with their mom or their dad or their boyfriend or their girlfriend or their coworker. And my loss is just a distraction from their problems. In a day from now, an hour from now, maybe even 15 minutes from now, people are going to forget about my loss and moved on to their thing, their next problem. So I can take as many losses as I need to in order to get better at the thing I'm trying to do, which in this case was competitive Magic. And for me now, it's a combination of Magic, entrepreneurship, game design, and content creation. And the one thing that I took away from this is that the losses, you can have as many losses as possible, as humanly possible out there. They just can't be in here. They just can't be in here. You can't say to yourself, I'm a loser. You can't say to yourself, I'm bad at magic. You can't say to yourself that I suck. This was a waste of time. This was a waste of money. I'm stupid for trying to play in this. You can't say that, because all of that are relative opinions. All of that is relative to the moment. Let me say again. Those are relative, in the moment, temporary truths. They are not a lasting truth. The lasting truth is what you decide it to be. The lasting truth is maybe, hey, I'm going to keep playing until I qualify for the Pro Tour. Or maybe the lasting truth is, hey, I love this game, so I'm going to keep going and just keep trying to get better in every day and have fun while I'm doing it and see where it goes. Maybe the lasting truth is, hey, like, this isn't sustainable for me to play competitive Magic. I'm going to pivot to content creation, or I'm going to pivot to focusing more of my energy on my day job, my career outside of Magic, my relationships, my friendships, whatever it is. The point is that you choose what's true. And you have to keep that locked in here. And the hard part is we forget. We might lock something in here, and then the next day we're already on that talk track of like, oh, I'm so dumb for making that, for fetching that shock land, that steam vents, instead of my breeding pool. No. No, you gotta get into a quiet place here that's just based off of self-compassion and kindness and non-judgment. And then once you get into that place, it will set you up to have these successes out there. Because the quieter you can get in here, the calmer, the kinder, the more compassionate you get in here, the more resilient you will become to the external losses. And the more resilient you become to the external losses, the more external losses you can take, and you can take them faster, so you can learn faster and grow faster and become better faster. So what does this mean for Magic? Well, this is what I call the shankpig mentality. Mental toughness. Resilience. And you can apply it to gaming. You can apply it to Magic the Gathering. You can apply it to poker. You can apply it to sports. And you can also apply it to life. So whatever you do, I just hope you remember, you don't control what's out there. You cannot control that. You can never control that. But you can control what's in here. And that is one of the most difficult things to do in life, and also one of the most rewarding.